Okay, we have been looking this whole week so far. It's unbelievable that we're already to Thursday, but we've been looking this whole week at the fact that life is lived in the present. And the question is, what is the quality of your present and my present? And to get that right, we need direction. So where do we get that direction? And our proposal is that we get that direction from the Bible. We get it from Jesus himself. And we've already seen that he said, give us this day our daily bread. So the idea is that there is a this day, and that every day needs to be, to a certain extent, cut off from every other day. In other words, we need to boundary our days enough that we suck the nectar out of that day, like an orange, cutting a little hole in the orange and sucking all the good juice out of it. But if you're just looking at the whole box of oranges, you don't ever cut the hole and get the juice. So when Jesus said, give us this day our daily bread, it indicates that every day we need to kind of put a boundary around that day and make sure we get something out of that day. And of course, he said, give us this day our daily bread, indicating that our physical bread, I love bread. You can tell by looking. How could someone not love bread? And every morning, almost, I try to get the 4 basic food groups. That is grease, sugar, salt, and caffeine. And you get all of that with a donut and a cup of coffee. Anyway, we have to have bread. But he's not only talking about physical bread, he's talking about the bread that gives us the quality of life and the security in life that we need. Because he says in another place, I think Matthew records it in chapter 4 and verse 4, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word which proceedeth out of the mouth of God, indicating that this is bread. The Word of God is bread. It's nutritious. It feeds the part of us that's not physical, but for that reason is even more important, not less important than the physical. So how do we do this? Well, now, if you're living for God, and my assumption is most of you that are joining us here daily just in this informal atmosphere to go through some things that might help you and I, my assumption is most of you are living for God and have obeyed the word of the Lord and love the Lord and understand that he is the answer to life. There's a few of you I know that join us that are not doing that, but you know you should be doing that. So I'm glad you're with us too. And I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to try to help you. We're all in this world together, and we can't get out except with Jesus. So I might just say, don't judge somebody so harshly that you don't want them to make it. Because, my friend, the alternative to making it, the alternative to all of us having salvation is too devastating to ponder, to consider, or to risk. So no matter how many times we have to forgive somebody, or no matter how many times someone messes up, if they want to get right, we need to give them the chance. And we need to let them up, because this is the only hope there is. That is the hope that's found in Jesus Christ. So how do I live this life of mine every day, qualitatively, with victory, happiness, joy, purpose, fulfillment, gratification, all the things that matter to a human life? And don't think that your life's not important. Every human life is important. Human life is a tremendous gift. So don't negate it by wasting it or by diluting it with drugs and other things. So we're dealing with this question of how do we live this life effectively and joyfully. I would propose that the way we do this is that we look at the Lord's Prayer. We call it the Lord's Prayer. I've already used a verse there to show that life is to be lived this day at a time, and that each day needs daily bread. And like the manna, we have to get it fresh every day. And that we don't want to live a stale life in yesterday. So where we're going with this is, let's part out. You know, like taking an old car part and putting them in stack that they can reuse the parts or sell them or whatever. Let's part out the Lord's Prayer. We'll start on that. What is tomorrow? Friday? Let's start on it tomorrow. So join me. And if you have any comments, let me know. We want to help you. And you may be able to help us. God bless.